Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm having a breakdown mentally. I don't know what other kind of breakdowns there are that a human can have, but I'm having a mental breakdown. I've been trying to catch a stupid betta fish on Animal Crossing for like a week now. Every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. it says that they're gonna be in the river and I just have to look for this small fish shadow. It's not there. I've caught everything over and over and over. I have broken so many fishing rods trying to catch this stupid fish. I've gone all over the river thinking maybe it's in a specific spot. Maybe it's only on elevated rivers, on like, inclines or whatever. Maybe it's at the edge of the river where the river meets the ocean. Maybe it's in the little pond area of the river. It's nowhere. It's nowhere. It's nowhere. It's nowhere. I've been trying to do this every day, 9 a.m., 4 p.m., between that time range, going everywhere. I started catching fish of any shadow size, just thinking, well, maybe my game's broken. No, it's nowhere. I don't have betta fish on my island, and I don't have them on any of the islands I visit either. I can't catch a betta. I don't know why. I just want a stupid betta fish. I restarted my game file a few months ago. I've caught every single fish that I could possibly catch, but I can't find a betta. Why? Why? I just want a betta fish.
So no
betta fish?
Anyway. This video has nothing to do with that. I just needed to vent. Anyway, today we are talking about my new Caledonian geckos. I have two that people don't really know about much. I talked about it a little bit on Instagram, but there's a whole nother one that I haven't really shown yet. I just thought I'd do a video where we just strictly talk about my new Caledonian geckos. Just showing them, enjoying them being cute. My cat was mad that the door wasn't fully open. Anyway, let's do it. By the way, if you did see my last video, I am starting a new series where I am reviving my 150-gallon tank. But this video is clearly not about that. This video is about geckos, and geckos don't live in fish tanks. They don't. Fun fact number one, these guys, they're not aquatic. They're not fish. They are not a part of my plan to make my aquarium better. That's another series. It's gonna take a while to film in between each episode of my tank series because it takes a while to really make progress at the point that I'm at with that tank. It's gonna take a while to really make any progress. Yeah. So today, geckos. The only thing they can offer my aquarium really is to poop in it. That surely will not help revive it. We're gonna keep the geckos and the aquarium separate. But yeah, this is Echo. If you've watched my channel before, you might remember him. If you never watched my channel before, this is Echo. He's a crested gecko, and he was the very first reptile that I ever got. I got him back in 2016, I believe, and he was already an adult then, so I don't know his exact age. At the very minimum, he's 8 years old, but I think he was at least probably about 2 when I got him, so he's probably closer to 10. And he is fired up right now, so he's a lot darker than his natural color is, but this is what his fired up color looks like. He was actually an adoption from the chain pet store I worked at. They accidentally ordered a bunch of adult crested geckos for their tiny little 5-gallon baby crested gecko tank where they kept the babies that they sold. So they got a bunch of adult males. You don't keep adult males together in general. They are going to be aggressive with each other and they are going to be territorial. You don't keep adult males together. But the chain pet store that I was at had no other choice, I guess. Instead of just putting them in the back room or something in separate tanks, they put them all together on the floor for sale. And that didn't go too great. They started fighting, and we found this little guy in the enclosure one of the days with a wound on his face. If I could get this to focus. He had a little wound on his face, and it's actually still there to this day. He has what looks to be a third nostril, if you can see that. I don't know how well it comes up on the camera, but that's a wound. His little nose is looks a little different coloration than the rest of his face. That is not from him like rubbing on the glass in my enclosure or anything like that. He has looked like this since I got him 8 years ago. It looks like he got in a fight with another one of the males in the tank and he got a little battle scar from it. So he's a tough little guy. When you look at this man, you think tough man that you do not want to mess with. But in all seriousness, that's why I adopted him because he was injured. So I took him home and he was my first reptile. And I've had him ever since. He did have a tail though. He kept his tail just fine, no problem, until a friend of mine was in town and visiting, and she asked if she could hold him. He's never had issues with people handling him. He's not defensive or anything. He's fine with being held. But for some reason, God knows why, when she put him in her hand flat, as one does, flat palm, she just touched him like this. And when she went to put him back in my hand, he left her a present. in her hand. It was his tail. He dropped it. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. Maybe he liked her so much that he wanted her to have a piece of him forever. She did not take the tail home with her, though. That went in the trash. It's the thought that counts, right? Right? So that's Echo. I did have another crested gecko multiple years ago, back in 2017, but when I had to make the decision on who to rehome when I moved back to my parents' house, I randomly added him to the list. It really wasn't, at that point, I was just picking randomly. I'll say it again like I always do, it was not an easy choice to pick who to put on that list of who to rehome, but at the end of it, I still just didn't have enough on the list and had to pick a few more random ones, and I just had to rehome him. So since then, Echo has been my only new Caledonian gecko in my care, but now I have 2 more. I have 1 more crested gecko to show you guys, and then I have another species that is also from New Caledonia. We'll get into that a little bit. Is that a good idea, Echo? There's nothing going on in that brain. Just kidding. I think he is a scholar. I think he's thinking really deep, inquisitive thoughts right now. Or maybe he's just holding in a poop. I don't know. Okay, this little guy was a little harder to get out. He doesn't like being held. He's not as cool with being held as Echo is. This is SIDESHOW Bob. He just jumped onto the desk, and onto me. This is SIDESHOW Bob. He's not as cool with being held as Echo is. He's a little more feisty, we'll put it that way. But this is SIDESHOW Bob. Whoa! In all of his glory. Whoa! Look at that beautiful creature who wants so badly for me to let him go. Look at that beautiful creature. Whoa! Look at that. That's SIDESHOW Bob. If you're wondering why that's his name, he was already named that, so I just kept it because I thought it was so silly. Like, who looks at this beautiful creature? Like, who looks at this beautiful creature and goes, yeah, that's SIDESHOW Bob. Honestly, I kind of get it. That is SIDESHOW Bob. It was such a silly name, so I just stuck with it. He does have his tail. He has not thrown it. And I'm praying that he does not, because he is so easily startled that I feel like he should be, out of the geckos I've had, he should be the one to throw his tail. But he's keeping it. He might be a little unpredictable. He might be a little off his rocker.
Bye.
But he's keeping his tail. God dang it. One interesting thing about crested geckos is they don't regenerate their tail. Once it's gone for good. And that's one thing that's always kind of confused me about their evolution. Like, why did they evolve to lose their tail if they need to? But then that's it. That's their only shot. They never get to lose their tail again. Why doesn't it grow back? Why do they get stuck with little frog butts like this, as people refer to it? I don't know. I don't have that answer. I just think it's kind of weird that they have this get out of jail free card if like a bird catches them. They can release their tail and run away. But then again, if they ever get caught again, they're screwed. They're done. But God, I thought he calmed down. But he takes any chance he has. The second I relax my hand, he's like, now's my chance, I'm escaping. So we're gonna let this little man go back into his enclosure where he is much happier being. Say goodbye, SIDESHOW Bob. Say bye. That's me trying to get his little hand to wave. Hi. What a magnificent creature. Oh, he spotted something interesting. I think he sees the wall behind the camera, and he's debating if he can reach it if he tried to leap from here. We're gonna let little SIDESHOW Bob go to his cage. Did he just try to bite me? Slow that down. Did he just try to bite me? Because he's trying to bite me. He's mad that I'm putting my finger near his mouth. I'm sorry, little man. I'm just trying to keep you safe. No need to get crazy with me. So that's SIDESHOW Bob. Glad you're acquainted with him now. Okay, last but not least, certainly not least, we have an out of focus. There we go. Wait, no. In focus? An in focus baby leachie gecko. We got a baby leachie. Look at that baby leachie. Look at him. It's a baby leachie. It's a leachie. And it's a baby. And I'm sure any second now, he will also be accompanied by some poop, because he does that every time I pick him up. Just as Echo gave my friend his tail as a present, this little guy likes to give me poop every single time. Every time. The first time I met him, the second I picked him up, poop, and he has kept up with that. Oh, he's getting a little energy now. So this is Pickle, guys. Please ignore my shaking hand. My hand always shakes. It's just a thing it does. But yeah, this is Pickle. He's actually grown so much since I got him. I haven't had him too long, but he's already grown so much. He is a leachianus gecko, so he is obviously, I think he just chirped at me. So his little back toes back here, he doesn't like those touched. He will chirp at me and bark at me if I touch those. So we're not gonna touch his toes. I get it. I completely get it. I wouldn't want someone picking me up and grabbing my toes. So we're gonna leave his toes alone. But This is Pickle. He is a leachianus gecko. He will get a lot bigger. He is just a little baby boy right now. This little guy. He will get a lot bigger than, oh, he just chirped again. They are very vocal geckos compared to crested geckos, which neither of my cresties have ever made a single sound. These guys are very vocal. There's the poop. There it is. He just pooped. Thanks, buddy. Right on the floor. If you too want your own little portable poop machine, look no further. You just pick him up and a poop will come out. Almost can guarantee it. These guys are obviously not the same as crested geckos, but they are from the same little subset of islands, aka New Caledonia. That's where all of these guys are from. New Caledonia is a haven for geckos. There are so many types of geckos from New Caledonia, but crested geckos are a very popular one that's in the pet trade, and leachies are also a pretty sought after one in the pet trade. I've never had one before, but I've always wanted one. So when I hit 2 years sober, I got little Mr. Pickle here as a sobriety gift from my boyfriend. So he gave me a little living ball of poop. I absolutely love Pickle and I can't wait to watch him grow up. I am so excited to watch him get bigger. I don't know where he thinks he's going right now. These guys get much bigger. They do eat the same diet as crested geckos though. So they both are eating, they both are eating the little fruit smoothie blends. I get mine from Pangea. There's a few different brands that make them. That's what we give them here and they love it. He's just a big chunk. Look at that boy go. So that's, oh my god, he just chirped again. I'm talking every time, so you're never gonna hear it. So that's, he does have a tiny baby chirp. So that is all 3 of my New Caledonian geckos. I don't plan on getting any more until I move out. There are some other New Caledonian geckos that I'm definitely interested in, but I am absolutely treasuring the 3 that I have, and I love them. When I move back out is when I can kind of explore more different species and stuff. This is Mr. Pickle, and you can bet your butt you're gonna be watching him get big with me, because this guy's growing so quick. But for now, he's just a little baby. He's just a little guy. He's just a little Pickle. Say bye, Pickle. Say thank you for watching. Say thank you for watching. Bye. Say that you're really annoyed that my hand won't stop shaking. Mom's hand won't stop shaking, guys. I'm sorry. I got shaky hands. So thank you guys for checking this out. I just wanted to show my 3 little guys to you. I think he's getting annoyed because my hand keeps shaking, so I'm gonna put him away. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Nicole, say bye. Bye. I'm gonna go clean up this poop.